Hey everyone. Hey Leo. Welcome to this space. Oh, I can't talk. I just took a sip of coffee. Welcome to the month of October. We are going to talk about the Scorpio new moon. Okay, we're going to pull a die, we're going to roll a die for you. It has some symbols on it. We're going to pull you some cards, and then we are going to pull a little button, and it has a symbol on it on the back. We will pull some buttons for you and see what messages my ancestors have for you guys. This is for Leo sun, moon, and rising placements. Please check your your moon or rising placements for deeper resonance. I am reading for both sidereal and Western astrological charts, so please bear that in mind. Take what resonates, leave what does not. So let's go ahead and pull a die for you, Leo, sun, moon, and rising signs for this Scorpio new moon message. Ancestors of light, messengers of light, what messages do we have for Leos? My beautiful Leos, those born under the constellation of Leo and their sun, moon, or rising signs, specifically their moon and or rising sign, sorry, for this Scorpio new moon. What messages does this Scorpio new moon have upcoming for Leos out there? Okay, Leo, we have the fishing rod or the angler. I kind of like seeing this. I like seeing the angler because this is honestly you actively, I can't remember who else got this one. I think Pisces got this. I can't remember who else got this. I wonder if it was Aquarius, but anyway. You have the angler or the fishing rod, and I like seeing that because that shows that you are actively going out there and looking for opportunities. You're looking to create an opportunity for yourself. You're not giving up. You just have to kind of be careful where you're fishing, right? What time you're fishing, because you may not, but also be patient. I don't want to say be careful what time, but it's more like be patient about it. You need to be patient about what you're fishing for. It may not arrive at the time that you think it's supposed to arrive. You may look at other people around you and you may feel like, well, they got this at this age, or they got this right after they graduated, or they got this, right after, getting this job, or they got this promotion or this raise, blah, 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 right? Or they ended up having a baby at this time or at this age, or getting married and meeting their soulmate, whatever. If you're kind of in that energy where you just kind of feel like, why have I not caught anything? Patience. And if you're saying, well, I have been patient, that answer right there shows that you have not. Okay? That is a telltale sign when someone is really being impatient and they're just sitting there waiting, but not doing any inner healing, not focusing on the things in their lives that need healing, that need to be resolved, that need to be cleared out and cleansed, then you're waiting in the wrong way, in the wrong sense. Okay? Focus on the things that are blocking you from getting what you want. So if you're just sitting there waiting and you're just like, when is my person going to get here? When am I going to get married? When am I going to have children? When am I? Well, when whatever is blocking that thing from getting to you is moved out of the way. Okay? So some of you guys may have been like waiting a while. Like, I've been working so hard, and because I know Leos, y'all are one of the most hardworking zodiac signs out there. Okay? One of the most hardworking zodiac signs out there. I'm not saying that there aren't lazy Leos out there. Okay, we can, when I say we, because I'm a Leo sun and in my Chiron, but we can be lazy sometimes. Okay? We can. Why not? But when you're a hardworking Leo, you have the right to be lazy sometimes, when you have the time to be lazy. Okay, once the work is done and you can lay down. Especially on a good Sunday. Okay, when you have a Sunday and you don't, you have everything cleaned, your bills are paid, your, budgets have been, laid out. Hey, be lazy. Rest yourself. Do the work and let the work be done, and let the work speak for itself. Let the blessings roll in, but don't be obsessed about when. It will when it's ready. It will when you're ready, when you actually have done the work to focus on parts of your life that are easily ignored when you're obsessing over the outcome. We have the Mountain, card number 2, and it says facing an authentic obstacle. So this obstacle, so for those of you guys who feel like, you know, somebody's trying to block me, you know, yada, 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 you know, sometimes you can feel that way. Okay, you may feel like, you know, my family is blocking me, my friends, or there's somebody who doesn't like me. Some of you guys may think like, you know, if you're going through something where you feel like you're really blocked, you may feel like somebody put like some dark magic on you, or put a spell on you or something like that. What I'm seeing with this Mountain card, that's not the case. At least mostly, that's not the case. I get the sense that you just chose a goal because you're a Leo, right? You guys may have chosen a goal or an achievement that is so high off of the ground. It is so high in the sky that gravity starts to kind of like, you can't even really breathe up there if you're not really prepared to get that high, right? That it just takes a long time to get up there. But if you look back at where you were, check in with yourself, Leo, and look back at where you were, you will find like, I climbed so high. I've come a long way. No, your money may not be exactly where you want it to be. Some of you guys, you are finally, by the end of this year, going to finally see like, oh my God, I'm getting the views. Oh my God, I'm getting the likes. Oh my gosh, I'm getting the recognition. I'm getting my orders coming into my shop. Some of you guys are finally seeing it. And you may be like, I'm already in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. And you're seeing these things happen. And it's like, where was it back then? Well, it was waiting for you to heal. It was waiting for the right wave of people to be born or to come into your realm and see you. Because sometimes the times can also be a reason why we are not being seen, we're not being heard, we're not being picked up, right? Bottom of the deck, you have the Homesteader, card number 62, respecting a seeker's escape. You guys may need to go on a very long vacation or very quiet, just a getaway, Leo. Because maybe you're so focused on the work, you're focused on the process that you're kind of forgetting that you need those moments to be normal, those moments to take a nap. Okay? That can be difficult. It's like, how am I going to be seen? How am I going to be heard? How are people going to see what I'm working on and see this project? How am I going to get clients or whatever if I'm sleeping or if I'm hiding? But it's like, it's not that you're hiding, Leo. It's just that, you know, you need to step aside and let the work speak for itself. And I'm going to tell you, Leo, like, I've been doing this for the past, I would say, about 6 or 7 years. That's not a long time compared to other people who have been on YouTube. Okay? And I have a second YouTube channel that I just started, okay, this year. And I've gone to college. Like, I picked up job after job after job, freelance work, like, because I'm an artist. So there are so many years that have gone by. And I was in my 20s and I'm just like, oh yeah, my 20s should be it. But there was one woman who said it. And I was listening to her today because I do like to watch, you know, motivational, you know, videos, where she said, some of y'all, and I feel like some of you guys need to hear this, Leo. Some people, before they hit their 20s, when they hit their 20s, that is the decade for them to recover from a traumatic childhood, from having a hard childhood. Some of you guys, Leo, you guys have had a rough childhood. And this mountain that you started climbing it at an early age. And you're looking at everybody like, how come I should already have this by now? I have these talents, I have these skills since I was such and such age. But Leo, you had a lot of maturing to do. You had a lot of growing to do, a lot of healing to do. And the things that you know now, the things that you're experiencing now, there's people who are still trying to figure it out. So just because somebody has more money than you, just because somebody got married at a, earlier than you, or someone had kids, or somebody has children, that does not mean that they are more mature. That does not mean that they have learned and healed. None of that indicates healing. How much money somebody has, some people are just lucky that way. They're just born with that lucky streak. Not all of us are born that way. Some of us have to learn how to be lucky sometimes, okay? But not everybody is, mature and grown and healed and loving themselves just because they have the husband or the wife or the kids or the house or the car. Libra will teach you that, okay? We're still in Libra season as I'm giving you this reading. Facing an authentic obstacle. What you want is authentic, Leo. You're not going after the clout. You're not going after an achievement to please people. I hope not. If you are, cut it out. But what you're going after, what you want, from what I can tell, it's going to grow you into such a beautiful person. By the time, for those of you who are younger, by the time you hit 45, you'll look back on your life and be like, I'm so glad I didn't give up. Do not give up, Leo. Go on that vacation. Take a break. Put your shop on vacation mode if you have to. Y'all, I'm telling you, I've been doing this YouTube thing and the social media thing for years. Over a decade. And the type of love that I've been receiving, I'm just now really receiving, like the comments and the reviews and personal readings and the likes and, people checking in on what I'm posting. Like about 3 years ago, that sounded, maybe even a year ago, that just seems so far away. That just seems so far-fetched. Like, oh, because I don't really take social media that seriously, And some of you guys, Leo, y'all don't either. Y'all don't nearly take, I don't think there's some of you guys out there, you don't take social media seriously, but you guys may be at that point where you're just like, I don't see this happening for me. But I'm telling you, give it a year, give it 2 years, give it 3 years. Like for myself, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Took me about 7 to 8 years. And I'm speaking as a Leo. Okay, with a Chiron in Leo, like Leo and Chiron, I'm sorry. So I didn't meet my partner. I'm not trying to use myself as the example, but I'm trying to help you guys understand, for those of you who are really struggling and you really are like, I just want what I worked so hard for. Trust me. Keep working at it. Keep loving what you do, even if you just get 2 people that like what you posted, or 2 people who like your art, or 2 people who enjoy what, the things that you have to say or the knowledge that you're putting out there, right? Even if there's just 1 person that compliments you, take it. That you're doing the right thing, right? Here we go. Dang it, my ancestors were taking their time with this, finding this card. Nothing is good or bad. It just is. Yeah, so just taking it for what it is, Leo. You don't need to beat yourself over the head about it and be like, oh, well, nobody liked this post, or nobody liked this, nobody liked that. I'm not getting any clients. I must not be doing the right thing. That's not the case. Who are the people in your life who are in your corner? Who are like, you're amazing, I love you. Those people matter, right? Those compliments matter. Okay? It doesn't have to be loud and on a stage and in front of a bunch of people. It can just be the people that are closest to you who are like rooting for you and you're in your corner, Leo. Those are the people that you need to hold on and be like, you know what? I'm just going to keep on pushing. I don't even know y'all, okay, like that. But I'm telling you, don't give up, okay? Let's keep going, you guys. I'm gonna pull a card from this deck, and then I'm gonna pull a couple cards from the tarot, and then we're gonna pull a button for you, and we'll end your reading. But Leo, it's like some things just take time. Oh, again, using myself as an example again, Leo. Take it for what it is, you know. When I was back in my 20s, I was single AF and I was happy about it. Happy about it, right? I didn't have to worry about anybody telling me, you know, talking about my makeup, talking about, you know, I didn't have anybody telling me like how late I'm staying out, you know, how much I drank or whatever, right? Not that I have to deal with that now, but it's like back in my 20s, I was single. Single my entire life up until the end of my 20s. And then I met somebody who found me, and we are engaged now, right? 10 years later, after knowing each other and kind of just being acquaintances and, you know, being friends. That same person asked me to be their girlfriend, proposed to me, right? Some things take time. And if you're obsessing over what you want, or if you're obsessing over what you don't have, that is the straight ticket to you not getting what you want. Okay? I can't make this up, Leo. I can't make this up. The sun. How? I can't make this up. You got the sun card. Bottom of the deck, you have Taurus, Venus, love, loving, true love, beauty, aesthetic, taking care of your hygiene, your personal hygiene, your physical hygiene, your emotional hygiene, your spiritual hygiene, your mental hygiene. Making sure your hair is on point, making sure your makeup is on point. Some of you guys may have been gone through a depression, you know, because of a relationship or because of a lack or the lack thereof, the lack of money. And maybe it's been kind of going up and down for a few years. Who knows? Okay? Especially for those of you who might be younger. Okay? When I say younger, I mean like in like 20 to 30 years old. Okay? 20s to 30s, even up to maybe 40. But this card says demonstrate. This is the sun card. You're ruled by the sun. It says demonstrate, realize, act like a leader. Even if you don't have the money, even if you don't have the things that you feel you need to have, the quality products, whatever. Act like a leader. Take control of your life. Show people what it's like to take charge, even when you don't have a lot, even when you're going through a tough time. Stand strong, Leo. Make sure that you're taking your vacations if you have the money or the time to. Make sure that you are putting your phone on Do Not Disturb, taking care of your home, eating good meals. If those of you who like to cook or bake, cook yourself some really good meals. Create something. You may not know it, Leo, but there are people who do respect you because of the work that you do. Because of the service that you provide to the people you love and care about. There's a lot of you guys out there, you have really big hearts. Don't shrink your heart or hide it because of people who don't appreciate it. That's on them. And I had to learn that this year. The world's not nice. The world don't really care about how big of a heart you have. The bigger the heart you have, the more advantage you can be taken, right? The more you can be taken advantage of. That's what I'm trying to say. Continue to grow your garden. Continue to cultivate the ground that you're on. But this world is not nice, y'all. They don't care about how nice you are. Be kind, have a big heart, be a leader. But don't let people take advantage of you. Don't let people make you feel like something's wrong with you because you have such a big heart, or because, you know, your art, or this project that you're working on, or your endeavors don't look like somebody else's. Who cares? The more you build and you keep climbing, look back, Leo, look back at who you were. Look at some old photos back. Look at where you came from and be thankful. But if you look back at your life and you're like, nothing's changed, well, that means that there's something inside of you that needs to change. Okay? Let's pull a couple tarot cards. We're almost there, y'all. Let's pull a couple tarot cards, and then we're going to pull a couple buttons, okay? Some of y'all, it's your health. It's your overall health that needs your primary focus. Maybe that could be a block. Okay? Maybe you're not taking care of your health. I remember when my life started to really take off back in my early 20s was when I changed my diet, when I stopped eating certain foods and completely changed my spiritual values. Starting from the ground. And I was in college, broke, no money. I was living with a grandparent, you know, like I had to choose whether I was going to eat or put gas in my car. And usually it was putting gas in my car, and I had to wait to go home at the end of the day to eat something, you know, or maybe a friend or somebody, you know, bought me some food, you know, while I was in college. But, and those were tough times. Okay. So I'm pretty sure there are those of you who may be watching this, you're just maybe going through a tough time for whatever reason, and you may kind of forgotten like how far you've come. Okay. For those of you who you gotten your flowers, congratulations. You've gotten the award, you got the trophy, you got the accolades, you got the praise, congratulations. Like, you got the Chariot, that's Cancer, that's the moon, that's like a complete polar opposite of who you are, Leo. But it's that commitment to yourself, that commitment to what you love. Not looking back on what happened, what coulda, shoulda, woulda happened, but looking at what has happened, right? Looking at what is working out for you and committing yourself to that. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, we have the Eight of Cups. So, you know, just because, you know, something's not broken, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to work out free. That is, you know, you can walk away from something that is working. It just may not be working for you, right? If it's a job, a relationship, you know, anything that you are emotionally like really like attached to, it could be that during the Scorpio new moon, you're kind of detaching from it and you're just like, you know, I don't really need to obsess over this. I'm just going to kind of go do my own thing, you know, and stay committed to it. Take charge of your life with the Two of Wands, that's Aries. So you have Cancer, Aries, and Aquarius here. Then we have Mercury, that is the Magician. Okay. Focus on self. Focus on self. Take dominion. You have dominion over your own happiness, over your body, over your well-being, Leo. Take things at face value. You don't need to obsess over anything that's happening and be like, is this good? Is this bad? Is this... Just be like, this just is what it is. Does this person like me or don't they like me? Who cares? And if they don't like you, guess what? It is what it is. Okay? Does that make them a bad person or a good person? Who knows? Why should you obsess over it? Right? That's the real question. Why obsess over it? And to me, Leo, you are not the obsessive type. And whenever I come across an obsessive Leo, that's like, there's some deep wounds there. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull a button for you guys. Yep. Keep climbing that ladder. You got the ladder. You don't expect anybody to help you up, Leo. You just go for it. You just climb that ladder. And if there are those of you who are sitting here like, you know, expecting someone to be of service or be of help to you, and they just like haven't, don't worry about it. Just be like, okay, they're not really, you know, helpful towards my growth. So I'm just gonna have to do it myself, right? And that's fine. That doesn't make them a bad person. It just means maybe they're just not meant to be that person in your life who's going to hold you up, right? Or lift you up. You just kind of have to like do it yourself, which I feel like that's just a Leo thing anyway, right? You got the cherry on top of this cupcake. Okay. There's that sweet, sweet energy, you know, enjoying the sweet aspects of life. Time flies. Take advantage of your time. Take advantage of the time that you have now. Don't be so focused on what's not working. You have El Fin, this, you know, the end, right? So something is ending for sure inside of you, Leo. Something definitely is ending. Could be a relationship, could be a business partnership. And then we have the crow, that's number 1. So there's some deep spiritual energy. This is Scorpio energy, death, the spirit realm. Could be a passed on loved one visiting you to remind you of who you are, to remind you of why you started this journey to begin with. Okay. That's what I got for you, Leo. Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, Leo.